All right, what I'm going to show you today is a very common problem most people have when attempting to install the gas tube roll pin. So what a lot of people do, they'll stick the gas tube in the gas block. They may even take a 5/64 punch, run it through, it's all lined up nice. Then they'll put their gas block in some type of fixture, and then they'll start to install the roll pin, and it goes about halfway and stops. Then it smashes over flat, mushrooms out. They try to drive it back out from the other side, can't get it out, and then they start to curse Jesus. And I promise you, it's not his fault. I'm going to show you what the problem is and how to fix it. All right? First thing you want to do is make yourself a gauge. You want to take a 5/64 drill bit. I put mine in my drill press upside down, spun it against a file, chamfer off the sharp edges from the end of the bit, make it a little bit round down here, and this is your gauge. New parts, used parts, you want to make sure your gauge goes through the gas block. It does. Make sure it goes through the gas tube. It does. I have never seen any gas tube or gas block fail the gauge, ever. They always pass the first inspection. So, we're going to install our tube back into the gas block. Line it up with the punch. Lined up nice and good both directions. Now we're going to attempt to install our gauge, and you're going to see you're not going to be able to force that through no matter how much you try. Either side. All right? That's no good. The problem is there's 4 holes it's got to pass through. One on each side of the gas block and one on each side of the gas tube. Somewhere it's hanging up. And this gas tube is made out of stainless steel. So is this particular gas block. You're just not going to hammer a steel pin through that obstruction. It's just not going to go. The best way to fix this is what's known as a chucking reamer. Chucking reamer is sort of like a drill bit, but it cuts precise, perfectly sized round holes where a drill bit does not. Chucking reamers also have a smaller diameter body on the shaft than they do on the cutting edge. So you'll see the chucking reamer will just drop right through. A lot of times you can just do this by hand and you'll get it to go through. This one is so bad it's going to need to be put in a cordless drill and reamed out. Then the gauge will pass right through. Let me show you. PCM gas block. I believe this is a CMMG gas tube. Goes right through. Take the gauge. Goes right through. I did not even have to ream this one. These are new parts. But even used parts should be inspected. Look at that. You'll have no problems putting the roll pin through this combination. All right, chucking reamer and gauge. That's the secret. I like to take all my punches, and I got them organized in these plastic tubes. I like to label them. Put a piece of packing tape over the label to keep the ink from smearing and wipe them clean. That way when I go to pull out punches out of my toolbox, I'll grab what I need. I also have a set of these Geisleys. I have not tried these Geisleys yet. Depending on how they work out, I may send them back to Brownells or not. I'm also working on a new fixture for low profile gas blocks, which I just absolutely hate. It'll be better than the blue block that Midwest Industries just came out with. It'll be better than that metal block that Ford Controlled Designs come out with. And it will be made out of a socket so that anybody at home can make it. And then once I'm finished with it, I'm going to gift it to the AR world like I did my cant gauge so that everybody can make their own. That's work in progress. Got a few details to work out. And then it'll be ready. One more word about chucking reamers. All right, take this little receiver, these holes here. These were all done with a chucking reamer. They drill the holes undersized and then they finish sizing them with a chucking reamer because a chucking reamer gives you a perfectly round hole, a perfectly precise sized hole where a drill bit does not. So let me say this one more time before somebody decides they're going to try and do this. Do not drill through here. Don't do that. This is your gauge only. You only want to go through here with a chucking reamer.